everyone. My name is Mara Bridwell, and this is my Capstone internship. And it is titled Data-Driven Sustainability for UW Medicine. And my focus throughout this internship was basically to use data as a tool for change for sustainability within the healthcare sector, specifically Harborview Medical Center. And so that was my focus. So to give you a little bit more context and background of this internship, so the healthcare sector accounts for about 8.5% of US carbon emissions and consumes about 10% of national energy, and also produces over 2 million tons of hazardous waste per year globally. And clearly the healthcare sector has a very large environmental impact. And so that needs to be acknowledged, targeted, and changed. And that is what Harborview Medical Center is attempting to do. They have set the goals of reducing their greenhouse gas emissions by 44% by 2030, and then ramping down their emissions to about net zero by 2040. So if you see this little visual in the background section right here, you can see that the main usage for Harborview Medical Center is steam and natural gas. And natural gas is basically made up of anesthetic gases, so the gases used for anesthesia and other medical practices. And nitrous oxide makes up the largest proportion of the anesthetic gases that are released. So that's kind of what this visual is breaking down for you, specifically in terms of Harborview Medical Center. And to basically focus on my research question, how can data-driven tools such as a dashboard enhance sustainability practices and reduce the environmental impact of healthcare operations at Harborview Medical Center? So that is my focus, kind of how data, as I said, can be used for change to help Harborview meet their goals and their needs. So by doing that, I was tasked on creating a dashboard. And I was tasked on creating a dashboard that highlighted their waste data trends and their anesthetic gas data trends. And then I also worked with another intern, James Moy, who focused on energy. So as a collective whole, we produced 3 different dashboards that showcase their data trends and where they were kind of lacking and where they needed to change. So, and the kind of way we did that was first data management, which was collecting and standardizing all the different data that we needed to actually create the dashboard. And that sounds much harder than that is much more harder than it sounds, because we had to talk to so many different people within Harborview and so many disconnected departments to kind of get all the data we needed from 2018 to 2023. And we needed very niche data at times, like composting data from the kitchen, or we needed linen use data, or we needed larger types of data, which is like their recycling use and other things like that. And it was over a 5-year period, and it was just hard at times to get the data we needed. And there were moments where we just couldn't get the data we needed, or it just simply didn't exist because it wasn't tracked. So those are where a lot of the challenges came throughout the internship. And the next step was, after we standardized and collected that data and put it all in Excel, we had to make sure that it was formatted like with a way that it was compatible with Tableau. So then we would transfer everything into Tableau and created these kind of interactive visualizations for each dashboard, so you can kind of separate the data and change it based off of time, subcategory, and category, so that if you're looking for a specific category, you could look at just that data or even a subcategory. And then another component of that was, after we made the dashboard, we got some feedback and from our stakeholders to kind of help refine the design of it and help it be tailored to the people in the hospital, because those are the people that were going to be using it. And so I had the privilege of talking to Dr. Walter from anesthesiology. He was one of my interviews, and he was super helpful and super passionate about making anesthetic gases more sustainable and just kind of changing how they were used. so that the hospital is more conscientious of its impact on the environment and trying to just reduce their usage overall because of how harmful they are. He was very aware and very passionate and gave me some great feedback. So I truly enjoyed that kind of interactive process and having him give me advice on how I could do better. And he was very intelligent and just great to talk to. And then lastly, the dashboard was kind of created in like an iterative design, meaning that it's meant to be continuously changed and continuously enhanced in order to like maximize its usability and functionality at all times. It's not meant to be stagnant. It's not like when James and I finished it, it was done. It's meant to be continuously changed. So what we gave UW Medicine was basically a baseline, and it's meant to kind of be used as a baseline for them to work off of and continually change. And then to go into more of the results specifically, here's kind of the 5 ways the dashboard functions and what it helps a hospital do to kind of break it down in a more simpler way. So first is anesthetic gas management, so helping them track that data. And then the next is waste management efficiencies. And then the next is waste and dashboard improvements. Then the other one is sustainability metrics and long-term impacts. And then the last is operational efficiencies and cost savings. So those are kind of 5 main categories that the dashboard targeted and kind of helped the hospital at least have some transparency with. And I'm going to show you guys a quick example of a dashboard I created for the anesthetic gases so that you can kind of see what it looks like in real time. Here is the anesthetic gas dashboard I created. So you can see there's purchase data, emissions data, broken down by gas type and by year. So you can kind of see how their purchase data has trended over time, how much was purchased, and also kind of how emissions have changed over time and which specific gas is the majority of that, which you can see right here is nitrous oxide. All right, so that's an example of one of the dashboards. And then to talk about some broader implications, the dashboard generally enables more informed decisions by the hospital because it is supported by years of data to show how they can change. They can be confident in whichever they decide to implement to make their hospital more environmentally friendly and more conscientious of the environment. And it also helps them achieve UW Medicine sustainability goals, as I stated earlier. And it helps them optimize resource use and potential cost. And this dashboard is also a precedent for the healthcare sector as a whole, because it is time for the healthcare sector to begin to focus on their environmental impact. And dashboards like this are great tools to help the healthcare sector work towards changing. So that's how it helps UW Medicine. And that was my internship. Thank you so much for listening.